Good morning. Okay, the old coot here coming back at you with another exciting video. This is a product demonstration of the Rotary Grater, as you can see right here from this company. Let me see if I can try to pronounce this. OurOkHome? Is that how you say that? OurOkHome, I believe that's how you pronounce that. But anyways, I got a special request to do this video of how to actually use it, put it together, show you all how it all works and all that good stuff. In the box, what you do get is you get a handle. You get the base, which works off of suction. You can use this on as long as it's like a plastic cutting board or one of those silicone ones. Basically, the way you attach it to secure it in place is you would just put it down and then turn this knob right here, and it actually locks it into place. See, now I can move the whole cutting board around. Or you could use it on your countertop. Anything that has a flat surface. I'm not sure exactly if it'll work on wood, but you kind of get the idea. So like any one of your silicone cutting boards or that kind of vibe. Then what you get is you do get the handle, right? You get a bunch of packaging, obviously. Then you get the base unit, which the base unit's here, and then this is actually where you put your stuff in, your food items into that you want to grate or whatever. So let's go ahead and attach this. So I'm going to put this in here. Right, it's going to click into place. There's a little button right here, but it's going to click into place. So now it's clicked. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use whatever attachment I want to use. So there's different ones. There's like a slicing one. There's one that's like a fine grater, which I'm going to do some cheese later in a separate video. And then this one is for like my yellow cheese that I'm going to be putting into a beautiful omelet with some eggs and some mushrooms. You kind of get the idea here. But the way this works is it kind of just only goes in one way, which is this way. But this part goes into here, right? And then if you'll notice here, there's a little notch, which corresponds to the notch in the handle. And again, there's a little quick release here if you need to release that. So basically what you do is you just line this up, right? So I'm trying to line up this little clip right here onto this little notch. And the same kind of vibe. It only goes in, it goes into multiple different ways, but there's actually two notches. So if you kind of need to orient your handle in a different way or whatever, you can do that. But basically, once you get it in there, you'll hear that click. Hear that click? And then now it's in there. And then to release it, you basically just push this down, and then that releases the handle from the actual cutting blade part. But let's go ahead and reattach. You'll hear that click, and then now you're basically in there and you're good to go. And obviously this turns this way. If you wanted to turn it this way and use it right-handed, you can absolutely do that. But basically now your handle is secured to the cutting wheel, and then this part is secured to the base. And I think we're ready to go. So you do get one of these to help you push your food item, through the grater to help it kind of go. But in my case, I'm just using simple yellow cheese, like cheddar cheese or whatever. A good tip is make sure you firm up your cheese. So you definitely want to leave it in the fridge. And then when you're ready to go ahead and start grating whatever it is that you're going to grate, whether it's a vegetable, carrot, mushroom, whatever, you can kind of do that. Try to get your whatever you want to grate as firm as possible. You may even want to put it in the freezer for 5 minutes just to kind of firm it up. That just makes grating it and cutting it a little bit easier. And then in the box, like I said, you do get the smaller size, teeth if you want to, grate a little more finely. You also get a cleaning brush as well for cleanup after. And the real gem of this entire kit, honestly, is the vegetable peeler. Because if you're going to be grating up carrots or something that needs to be peeled, like zucchini, you don't want to peel up the skins of the zucchini or whatever, or the eggplant. This is really the real gem of the entire thing, and I'll show you this again in a future video. But anyways, let's go ahead and do the cheese. So basically, I've cut my cheese into something I'd say about 1 inch wide by maybe, I'd say about 2 or 3 inches long. But you can keep the piece as big as this size right here to do that. But I'm just going to put this in and then use the tool that kind of comes with it, like the pusher. And basically now I do want to lock this and secure this. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the wheel to the right to lock it into place so that it's now part of the cutting board, right? It's with suction, it's actually on there. And then I'm just going to go ahead and pull and squeeze. And as I rotate and rotate and rotate, let's see if I'm doing this the right way. There we go. That makes more sense. And then now here comes my cheese out. So there you go. So there's the cheese. I'll put 2 pieces in to kind of show you. So obviously the wheel rotates one way to cut. is basically what I was trying to get at. So if I do this again, this is in there and I'm turning and I'm rotating. Sorry, let's relock this. Sometimes you do have to do that depending on how porous or smooth your surface is. But what you could also do is you could just go straight onto your countertop like this, right? And we're doing all this in real time just to show you how this all looks. But basically the same kind of vibe here. So now I want to lock this down, and that's secured to my countertop. And now I can go ahead and turn the wheel. Let's see if I can show you this at a good angle here. So I'm turning. And then there goes my cheese out the side. So you can kind of see how the cheeses come out. Look at how beautifully grated that is. So let me go ahead and turn the angle here. We'll come over on this side, and then I'll try to do this with one hand so you can kind of see how this all works. So again, I'm going to lock my wheel to secure this to the countertop. And let's do some mushrooms. So if I throw some mushrooms in there, you could wash between, but I mean, it's all going in the same omelet anyway. But here's my 2 mushrooms. Let me go ahead and take this off here real quick so I can show you all how easy this is. But basically, as you turn the wheel, that's what's going on in there. See that action of how it's pushing and it's going, and it's kind of hard to do this with one hand, but you kind of get a sense of what's happening here is that as you push down with this, right? I think it's this way or this way. Yeah, it's this way. So as you push down with this, that little bit of pressure, and you don't have to force it in there, just give it just a gentle push and a nudge. But as you push down with this and you're turning your wheel, see if I can do this with one hand, you're going to get your cuts. And I can feel it cutting in there. There it goes. See, and then now I've got a mix of mushrooms, mushrooms and cheese. So there you go. So there's, let's see if I can do this and show this to you in real time. There you go. Making a little bit of a mess, but hey, you have to break a few eggs to make an omelet. So there you go. There's my mix of cheese and mushrooms, as you can see right there, coming out of the machine. But it does a very nice job. It's very smooth. Obviously, if you're doing this with 2 hands, it's going to be a little easier, a little smoother. But you kind of get a sense of what's going on there. Let's show you a couple more just for fun. So I'm putting these in, right? I'm putting this in there, just giving it like a little bit of pressure, and then I'm turning the wheel as I go. And as you can see here, I'm doing this with one hand, but obviously if you're doing this with 2 hands, or have your kids help you, you know, have a friend help you, your spouse, your loved one. Like if you only have one hand for whatever reason, you know, God bless you, at least you're surviving in the world. But, you know, obviously if you're going to do this with 2 hands, it's a little bit easier. But as you can see here, I'm turning, I'm going, I'm turning the wheel, and it's shredding up the mushroom that's in there with the cheese, and of course making a big mess. But anyways, you kind of get the idea there. There you go. So you've got mushrooms and cheese. Anyways, with that being said, I will put a link to this down there below in the description. Make sure to check that out. And stay tuned. I'll be back with another video. I'm going to show you how I'm going to use the more finer grater attachment to do some Romano Parmesan cheese for some pasta. So stay tuned for that video. Anyways, there are links down below in the description, also in the comment section. I will also put a link to this on my Amazon storefront. I have to say, overall, just generally speaking, this is a very good quality one. I can tell that the plastic feels like a very good, solid, you know, ABS type plastic, like it's the good quality plastic. Also this, the clear part that's in here, the clear plastic, definitely well made. You know, it feels solid. It's a good thick plastic, right? Which tells me that's going to last a while. The handle feels great. It's easy to detach. You know, when you go in here and you go to release this, like it's just one pull and that's out. And then this whole piece comes out, right? So pretty easy. And then cleanup is pretty easy as well. As long as you use it and then clean it right away, I think you'll be fine. You know, just try not to let it sit for too long. You kind of get the idea. The steel feels great. You know, the steel does feel like and look like a stainless steel that's in there. And very sharp blades, obviously, as you can tell, very, very sharp blades. So, you know, be aware of that. The suction mechanism, you know, depending on what surface you're on, like now I'm on the actual countertop, which is less porous, right? It's more of a smooth surface. This is on there. It's not it's not going anywhere. If you are going to do it on a cutting board, the cutting board does have like pores, and it is very porous, so you might not get as good of a seal between the silicone, like the rubber, the suction ring, and the actual cutting board. So just be mindful of how you're using it. You know, what else could you do? You could secure this to like your countertop, whether that's quartz or slate or whatever, granite, and then just use a dish. Just put a dish underneath here so that way you can catch whatever it is that you're grating and grinding. But anyways, you get the idea. I'm the Old Coot. Links are down below in the description and also in the comment section. This will also be on my Amazon storefront. And I'll catch you all on the next exciting video product review.